Right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Control of City Hall up for grabs. Kara Spencer launches her bid to oust the current mayor.
Stormy start. It's possible for some of us Wednesday, especially if you're an early riser. We're tracking those rain chances and a big change in what it feels like by tomorrow evening.
Immunity granted. MoDOT workers cannot be sued in the death of a worker and her unborn child.
And every day since then, my life has been living hell.
What's behind the ruling from the Missouri Supreme Court? Tonight, the state's high court has spoken, leaving a local mother outraged. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. The family of Caitlin Anderson sued MoDOT supervisors, claiming they knew she was pregnant and failed to protect her. Brent Solomon is joining us to explain why the, quote, doctrine of official immunity is protecting those workers. Brent.
Well, Kelly, Mike, this evening I caught up with a former federal judge who describes the common law in detail. She admits many people don't see it as fair, including a grieving mother who just can't make sense of it.
If they would have followed the protocols, I would have been watching my grandson here at this park instead of sitting with you. And that's a hard pill to swallow.
Sitting in the Arnold Park, where she often took her daughter Caitlin for Easter egg hunts and birthday parties, Tanya Muskoff is reacting to Tuesday's news.
The people that killed my daughter and killed my grandson by not following their own safety protocols should have been held accountable.
Caitlin Anderson was a pregnant MoDOT worker assigned to a work project in South St. Louis County when a car hit her. She and her unborn son Jax died, as well as her co-worker James Brooks. Muskoff filed a wrongful death lawsuit, and the state's high court just decided the MoDOT supervisors cannot be sued due to what's called the doctrine of official immunity.
So it doesn't really have to do with willfulness or even the degree of negligence. It has to do with the fact that the individuals who are protected from the immunity are actually working in their capacity as state officials.
Our legal analyst Nanette Baker says you often see it applied to police officers and more recently some teachers.
It appears to be unfair in many cases, and so it's not unusual for people to have questions when the doctrine is applied. And even though there's been a wrong and there's been an accident or some act that has harmed someone, the fact that that person or those individuals or their family can't recover because of this doctrine appears to be unfair to lay people who are just looking at this.
And all she was doing was working, and she was deserving to live, and she was deserving to have that baby.
Before today's decision, Muskoff had already planned a 5K walk called Slow Down, Move Over. It will happen Saturday at Arnold City Park at 9 a.m. There's a $25 fee, which includes food and a t-shirt. You can find out more about that when you search this story on KSDK.com.
Thanks, Brent. We have some breaking news right now. All of the northbound lanes of I-55 approaching Loughborough are closed. A car went off the bridge abutment that supports the structure on the bridge. Crews were able to get to the driver. We do not have word on that driver's condition. Again, you should avoid that area.
We're still tracking some showers and the chance of thunderstorms in our area. Scott is here to let us know if it's going to be a problem for the morning commute. Scott?
Well, our Weather First forecast tracking out these showers and thunderstorms that are just now working into western portions of Missouri. For most of us, it's been a quiet evening. North of St. Louis, we've had a couple of brief showers, but your thunderstorms, they've all been in northwest Missouri, just starting to push into the Kansas City area and especially south and southwest of Kansas City, some of those stronger storms. But no warnings with any of these storms right now. And closer into St. Louis, most of the action tonight has been up into central portions of Illinois, although up towards Bowling Green, you had a couple of brief showers in the northern portions of Calhoun County as well. At this point, this is kind of how we're tracking this in overnight. It looks like just around the start of tomorrow morning's rush hour, there'll be some scattered showers, maybe some rumbles of thunder drifting through, but they're pushing out before the rush hour really gets going, and the roads should dry out, and we don't think we have big problems for tomorrow morning's rush hour. And temperatures will stay warm tonight. Still active out at Lambert tonight. Some of those flights a little delayed because of weather elsewhere across the country. So still some activity there at Lambert at this hour with flights coming and going, and still a few delays, but not because of the weather here. We'll talk about the changes coming later tomorrow that we think you'll really like, Kelly.
See you then, Scott. An execution date has been set for Marcellus Williams for September 24th. He's been on death row for more than 20 years for the murder of Post-Dispatch reporter Felicia Gale. She was stabbed 43 times inside her University City home. St. Louis County prosecuting attorney Wesley Bell filed a motion in January to overturn Williams' conviction, saying there is no DNA evidence linking him to the crime.
The NAACP is bringing attention to incidents of discrimination in the workplace. The chapter's president says workers in the St. Louis region are leaving their jobs after finding nooses. Adolphus Pruitt says the trend has to stop. There's been at least one incident every month this year. 2 private companies, along with Missouri Central Bus Company and the St. Louis City Refuse Department, were named.
We have to get a point across that this sort of behavior is not going to be tolerated.
The Refuse Department says it takes the claim seriously and says no formal complaint has been made. Pruitt said next month they're launching a social media and billboard campaign.
Police say an O'Fallon man secretly recorded up women's skirts as they were shopping, and there could be hundreds of more victims. This is Kevin Clayton. He is charged with 2 counts of invasion of privacy. A woman called police on Sunday saying Clayton put his cell phone in a shopping basket and then pushed it underneath her skirt at the Dollar Tree in O'Fallon. Police say there could be hundreds of more victims. They found more than 200 videos in the deleted folder on his phone.
It looks like he has done this more than once for sure, and we're glad to get him off the street.
Clayton pleaded guilty to a similar incident in January and is currently on probation.
Just 3 hours ago, the St. Charles City Council unanimously passed a resolution acknowledging the importance of libraries and opposing the possible shutdown of 3 branches in St. Charles County.
The city of Wentzville and St. Charles County have passed similar measures. 5 on your side's Laura Barteski just got out of that meeting. Laura.
Mike and Kelly, this resolution comes 26 days before these 3 branches could possibly close. And residents tell me today they really don't want these vital community resources to close.
You like to read books about dinosaurs and animals and the alphabet, numbers, you name it.
Brian Cornell says his family recently moved to the area near the Kisker Library branch, and coming to the library is a regular part of their routine.
We come here at least once a week, maybe 2 times a week, and trade out books, and it's a wonderful resource for us to allow her opportunities to read all kinds of different books and learn about different things. And she loves it here. She likes to play and hang out, so it'll be really missed.
It's one of the branches on the chopping block, right alongside McClay Library and Deer Run, which would turn into a warehouse. About 64 jobs would also be cut.
What's happened to our city-county library district is unbelievable. The special meetings leading up to saying that the district is in financial trouble is concerning.
St. Charles City County Library officials say these closures and changes could happen because in 2 years, revenues will fall behind the costs. The library did not respond to our request for comment Tuesday, but CEO Jason Kuhl said at a board meeting last month, they've done everything they can and there's just nowhere else to cut.
We've changed hours, we closed on Sundays for a period of time. We really have, we're exhausting all possibilities. Thinking as creatively as possible.
All 10 city council members in St. Charles don't want to see these closures happen, voting in favor of a resolution opposing them and recognizing the importance of libraries.
Roll call. Bill Otto.
Aye.
Vince Scratchford.
Aye.
Mary West.
Aye.
Michael Flendemeyer.
Aye.
Justin Faust.
Aye.
Michael Galba.
Aye.
Bart Haberstroh. Mark Hollander.
Aye.
Denise Mitchell. Aye. And Bridget Omes. Aye.
The vote on the fate of those jobs and the library branches, is scheduled for the next library board meeting, and that's actually coming up. It's June 18th. Reporting live in St. Charles, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
There is a new alderman in Winfield. A runoff election was held today, and just about an hour ago, we learned Robert Roskowski III was elected to represent Ward 1. The special election was called for after a tie vote between Roskowski and Herb Crosby back in April.
Kara Spencer officially launched her campaign to challenge St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones tonight. Our political editor Mark Maxwell worked the crowded room to get a feel for who's behind Spencer's bid. Mark?
It was an interesting mix. Several vocal advocates of criminal justice reform, especially reforms inside the city jail, were in that room listening to Kara Spencer. That's a progressive group that backed Mayor Tashara Jones in 2021 and had something of a falling out with her after she took office. Spencer came close to winning that mayor's race last time around, and now she's asking voters, what if things had been different?
Kara Spencer asked this crowd of supporters to imagine the possibilities.
What would happen if I ran for mayor again? Can we turn this city around?
After one term under Mayor Tashara Jones, some city workers are ready for change.
The revenue division pay is so low, you can't get people not coming there because the pay is so low.
Why Kara Spencer?
She's supporting us, we supporting her.
She stood strong with them. She stood strong with us from the beginning on workers' rights. And that's for all city employees.
That's Dan Clark, the head of the firefighters union.
Right now, currently, we're 100 firefighters short.
He's convinced Spencer can improve the city's recruiting and rate of retention.
We need to be figuring out ways to get employees in here and then retaining them. And we're obviously not doing that right now.
And despite hundreds of thousands of ARPA dollars, our streets are still littered with potholes. The garbage still isn't getting picked up.
Spencer asked the crowd to imagine a mayor who was better at collaboration than conflict.
What would happen if I didn't ignore my colleagues, if I didn't ignore them? I leaned in, heard their concerns, addressed them, and worked together for a solution.
She pointed to her successful push to ban teens from carrying semi-automatic weapons out in the open.
Now we see a lot less of them, not just downtown, but throughout our neighborhoods. These are big wins.
That message appeared to catch on.
And I would like to be a part of the campaign or something. So
Roland Tabor, a choreographer who danced with MC Hammer and Usher, said Spencer's speech got him thinking about the city's future.
St. Louis got to go out of town and do things. I would like to bring the industry to St. Louis.
One thing Spencer said this town does better than any other, make beer.
Let's have a toast to St. Louis, this city we all love, and to working together to make it work again. St. Louis!
Not everyone in that room was 100% sold on Kara Spencer, not yet. One black voter from South City who told me a story about suffering racial discrimination in the workplace years ago. He told me he likes Spencer's, quote, wonkiness, referring to her background in mathematics, but said he's not quite sure he's sold yet on this whole idea that she's the savior, in his words, the city needs.
Does the United Nations give money to migrants entering the U.S. from Mexico? We verify. Weighing the risks and the benefits of using a psychedelic drug to treat PTSD.
As expected, we are tracking these showers and thunderstorms well to our west tonight. How much of this line holds together and when that front delivers the refreshing change to St. Louis.